ఓ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ స్టూడెంట్స్. మీ అందరికీ కూడాను ఆల్రెడీ మీరందరూ ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్కి అటెండ్ అవుతున్నారు. బట్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దే ఆర్ స్టేయింగ్ ఎట్ రూరల్ ఏరియాస్ ఆర్ సమ్ అదర్ స్టేట్స్, దే ఆర్ నాట్ హ్యావింగ్ ప్రాపర్ నెట్ కనెక్షన్స్ and some signaling problems, everything. So that's why our management gave instructions that we need to do same YouTube videos what we are taking in the online classes, the same topics we need to do videos, right? So already we completed one unit of portion, so the same syllabus I am going to start in the YouTube video now. Okay, so first I am going to start with the evaluation of analytical data. I hope all of you know what is the syllabus. Otherwise you can take the syllabus from your what is that university website. Analytical data, మీరు డైరెక్ట్ ఓయూ వెబ్సైట్కి వెళ్ళి సిలబస్ అని చెప్పి కొడితే మీకు వచ్చేస్తుంది. సో ఫస్ట్ చాప్టర్, I think so this chapter is from general chemistry, first lesson, evaluation of analytical data. First, what is meant by data? Data means which is a collection of numbers or collection of let us suppose some elections are going in Bihar now, right? So they are collecting the data, means how what type of category of people willing to vote for Congress, or what category of people are going to willing to for this NDA, right? So like that they are collecting the data. Or suppose now take the current situations, corona, people are suffering with this COVID situations, right? So how many people are suffering with this corona situations, means how many elders are there, how many young people are there, how many children are there, and how many below 10 years children are there. So like that they are collecting some information in the form of numbers, that is called as data. Now after collecting the data, what they will do, they will do some analysis. Means suppose ఇదే కోవిడ్ డేటా అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే, which tells us that the data tells us that more than 60 age people are suffering a lot, or the persons who already have some problems, that is health issues like diabetic or some heart problems or some other issues, they are more attacked by this COVID virus, right? So collecting the data and doing some analysis, we are predicting something, right? So that part is called evaluation of analytical data. Now coming to our chemistry point of view, in what situations we will use this analytical data? We will use this analytical data mainly for the lab purpose, right? Our inorganic laboratory is divided into two categories. I think all of you know this one. One is qualitative analysis and second one is quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis means what we are doing, just finding about the cations and anions. Now coming to this quantitative analysis, this is again divided into two categories. One is volumetric analysis and second one is gravimetric analysis, right? Generally in this quantitative analysis, either in volumetric analysis or gravimetric analysis, we suffer with so many types of errors. Means suppose you are about 40 people in this section. Suppose you 40 people are doing this volumetric analysis, then obviously you 40 will get 40 different values. Means what? Of course some of you are very nearer to the answer, some of you are far away to the answer, and some of are in between these two categories of people, right? So why you are getting such 40 people are getting, why 40 varieties of answers we are getting? Means it depends upon the analyst, or it depends upon the student who is doing the experiment. It depends upon the reagents what they are using, it depends upon the instruments what they are using, okay? And in what way these students are doing this volumetric analysis. So depending upon those so many factors, people are getting different types of answers, right? So now we need to know why these people are getting such minute differences of answers. That is first question. Then how can I guess which student did the experiment accurately? How can I guess? So how I need to calculate? So for that calculation, what are the statistical formulas I'm using? That is mean, median, mode, range, etc. So that is the topic you need to study in this particular lesson. Okay. So your first topic starts with errors. Your first topic starts with errors. Errors means what? Which is the difference between true value and experimental value. Which is the difference between true value and experimental value. Let us suppose our true value is 0.509, but you are getting the answer that 0.515. So how much is the difference? It is around 0.006, or sometimes you may get, here I wrote big answer, or sometimes some students may get 0.495, like that also they may get. Okay, so the difference between true value and experimental value is called error. Now these errors are divided into three categories. First one is gross errors. Second one is determinate errors. We also call them as systematic errors. And the third one is indeterminate errors. Also we call it as random errors. Okay, errors are again divided into three categories: gross errors, determinate or systematic errors, indeterminate or random errors. Now coming to this gross errors. Gross errors means the selection of method is wrong. Means you have to do volumetric analysis, but instead of that you selected the method gravimetric analysis. In such conditions, obviously you will get a gross error. And sometimes suppose you need to use statistical formula, that is mean, but instead of that you are using median, mode or range, something like that, then also you will get a gross error. Gross error means which is a big mistake. So this can be avoided by the carefulness of the analyst who is doing the experiment. The person who is doing the experiment, he need to be very careful in each and every aspect. In such conditions only we can reduce the gross errors. Now second one is determinate or systematic errors. The name itself is telling what is determinate errors. Determinate errors means the errors where the mistake is happening we can guess, so that we can rectify those errors. Such errors are called determinate errors. These are again divided into four categories. First one is operational or personal errors. And the second one is instrumental errors. And the third one is errors of method. And fourth one is additive and proportional errors. Now I will explain each and every one individually. First one is operational and personal errors. So the name itself tells us that the person who is doing the experiment, he or she is responsible, isn't it? So while doing this experiment or while doing this operation, these errors occurs. First one is generally end point. when you are doing volumetric analysis, you need to be very careful at the end point. Means at the end point you will observe the color change. Suppose if you are not careful at that moment, then obviously 2 to 3 extra drops will run down, so that you will get more intense color. We know in the acid base titrations, color changes from colorless to pink or pink to colorless. So you need to be very careful. And the next one is by taking burette readings. Burette readings. Generally, while taking this burette readings, you need to check that burette parallel to your eye. Parallel to your eye. And for colorless solutions, you need to take lower Menzies, and for colored solutions, you need to take the upper Menzies. Means you need to be very careful while taking the burette readings. And sometimes what will happen, these people or students, they may do underwashing or overwashing of precipitates. We know in our laboratories, while doing these experiments, we will get some precipitates. Those precipitates, you need to wash them. Some people may do a very little bit of washing, and some people will do overwashing. So you need to be very careful about these two aspects. If you did underwashing, then impurities will remain like that. If you did overwashing, then along with that impurities, this precipitate will also will go away. And next one is insufficient cooling of crucibles. Insufficient cooling of crucibles. Generally, these crucibles we will use in gravimetric analysis. In the gravimetric analysis, these crucibles, after drying them by putting in the desiccator or oven, again you need to cool it before weighing that crucible. So because of this hurriness, sometimes students, they won't do this sufficient cooling. In such conditions, we will get that error. So, and next one is instrumental errors. So instrumental errors means the instrument which is not properly calibrated. Which are not properly calibrated. Means what? Suppose if you take burette shows 50, 0 to 50 numbers are there. Between 0 to 1 there are 10 lines. Between 1 to 2 there are 10 lines. Suppose if at any cost, suppose one line is missing, then it will give the error. So if the instruments are not properly calibrated, then we will get that error. And next one is when you are doing electrochemistry experiments, these instrumental errors will arise more, because when you are going for this electrochemistry experiments, you need to depend upon the power. But sometimes if there is any tripping in the power cuts, and power వస్తుంది పోతుంది అనుకోండి, then in such conditions you will get instrumental errors. And reagents, sometimes reagents are contaminated with some impurities. Then though also we are using such type of reagents, then we will get the errors. Okay, right. And next one is errors of method. Generally, these errors of method most probably we will observe in a gravimetric analysis. In the gravimetric analysis, we have three. One is precipitation, and second one is post precipitation, and next one is co-precipitation. These are the three topics are there in gravimetric analysis. I think so these topics are already completed in your first year. This post precipitation and co-precipitation will generally occurs in gravimetric analysis, which will give error. Okay, and sometimes this volatilization conditions, అంటే మనము జనరల్లీ ఇన్ ఆర్గానిక్లో మనకేమవుతుంది అంటే, సో మెనీ ఆర్గానిక్ లిక్విడ్స్ ఆర్ ఓలటైల్. సో బిఫోర్ డూయింగ్ ద ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ సమ్ మే ఓలటైల్ అవి ఇవైపోతూ ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. అండ్ సమ్టైమ్స్ కొన్నిసార్లు మనకి వాల్యూమెట్రిక్ ఎనాలిసిస్లో కానీ ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏమవుతుందంటే సైడ్ రియాక్షన్స్ జరిగిపోతూ ఉంటాయి. అంటే మనకు తెలియకుండానే మనం చేస్తుంది ఒక ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ అయితే, ప్యారలల్గా పక్కన సైడ్ రియాక్షన్స్ అనేవి కొన్ని జరుగుతుంటాయి. సో దీస్ విల్ గివ్ ఎర్రర్స్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ విల్ కమ్ అండర్ ఎర్రర్స్ ఆఫ్ మెథడ్. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ additive and proportional errors. Additive errors always does not depend upon the amount of does not depend upon amount of constituent present. Means you may take 2 milligrams or you may take 2 grams or you may take 2 kg. Okay, it never depends upon the amount of constituent present. Additive errors. Suppose loss in weight of crucible when you are igniting it. మనం క్రూసిబుల్స్ని గ్రావిమెట్రిక్ ఎనాలిసిస్లో ఏం చేస్తాము అంటే we need to dry it. First we will put it them in the desiccator. After that we will place them in the oven. In such conditions the crucible itself loses some weight. So here the amount of precipitate, how much amount of precipitate present in the crucible is not important for us. The crucible itself loses some weight. So that's why in additive errors those does not depend upon the amount of constituent present. Now coming to this proportional errors they always depend upon the amount of constituent present. Amount of constituent present. They always depends upon the amount of constituent present in it. Okay, so proportional errors means parallelly they will come. Okay, suppose if you want to separate ignition of aluminum oxide at 1200 degrees centigrade, which will give some error. Okay, so proportional errors means if you take 2 milligrams of compound it will give a little bit error. If you took 2 grams of compound it will give more error. So which depends upon the amount of constituent present in it. Now coming to this indeterminate errors. So indeterminate errors means the name itself is telling that we can't find where the mistake was happened. Generally this type of errors are like this. This type of errors are like this, means the positive errors and the negative errors are same. అంటే మీరు ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ చేసేటప్పుడు కొంతమందికి ఎక్కువ రావచ్చు ఎర్రర్, కొంతమందికి తక్కువ రావచ్చు. సపోజ్ ఇక్కడ నేను మీకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశాను కదా, 0.509 is the true value. Some people may get more than this true value and some people may get less than this true value. So these errors are both positive and negative. And if you observe, less error will or more frequent. See here, the area is more here. The area is more here. Means less errors will occur more frequently. Large errors will occur less frequently. Okay, so indeterminate errors means we can't predict where the mistake was happening. Okay, so that's it about this errors. Once again I am repeating this one. Errors are of 3 types. One is gross errors, determinate errors and indeterminate errors. Gross errors means the selection of method is wrong. If you selected a method gravimetric analysis instead of volumetric analysis, then you will get a bulk error. Similarly, instead of using a statistical method mean, if you select for median or range, then also you will get a gross error. So the analyst who is doing the experiment, he or she needs to do that very carefully. Next one is determinate errors. So determinate errors means the errors which we can determine, means where the mistake was happened. These are again divided into 4 categories: operational error, instrumental errors, errors of method and additive errors. And I explained each and every one separately. And third one is indeterminate errors, means we can't predict where the mistake was happened. Generally these errors are both positive and negative, and small errors occur more frequently when compared to the large errors. So in the next class, I will continue accuracy and precision.